Madam Chair, I offer this amendment with Ms. McCollum from Minnesota today. In fact, it was her amendment from last year that got me involved in this. And basically what this does is stops the Defense Department from using major sports sponsorships such as NASCAR motorsports and bass fishing for a recruitment tool which is no longer necessary. And there are a number of reasons for this. Number one, it's not effective. May 18, 2010, Major Brian Creech said in the USA Today that the National Guard spending $26.5 million to sponsor NASCAR got 24,800 inquiries. Of those, they got 20 potential recruits. Of those, what did they get for the $26 million? Not one single recruit. I want to say again, $26 million, 24,000 inquiries, zero recruits. It's not effective. Now, the National Guard support group has been going around with this document saying, oh yes, but look at all the images that we get. Well, again, out of this, according to their own document, they got 40 recruits. So for the money, if you do the math, that's $721,000 per recruit. And why is that? Well, perhaps because the demographic of NASCAR is that 69% of the people are over 35. So when they go, when they're pushing their brand or advertising at NASCAR, nearly 70% of the people aren't eligible. That's not their target group. The Rand Corporation in 2000 studied recruitment and said if you want to increase recruitment, then you have to increase the number of recruiters, period. That was the number one thing. That's why on July 10th, the Army dropped out of it, and they said, and I quote, although it's a beneficial endeavor for us, it is rather expensive, and we decided we could repropose that investment into other programs. So when Ms. McCollum actually originally offered this, it was an $80 million reduction into the savings account. But since the Army dropped it, now we're offering a $72 million. Secondly, very, very important for us to remember that the military is reducing its size now, not because of sequestration, before sequestration. They're dropping the number of troops in the Army and the Marine by 103,000 alone. The Defense Department's recruiter has said that the recruitment is high right now because of the economy. Now, number three, this program has no accountability. In February, our office, as a member of the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee, we asked the Pentagon, what are your hard numbers? If you're spending $72 million sponsoring major sports programs, what are you getting out of it? And they couldn't come up with it. Now that disturbs me as a fiscal conservative because I want to believe that if the Pentagon is spending that much money on something, they're able to defend it. The Miller Beer Company actually put it this way. They said on exposure, I don't care how much exposure you get, what it's supposed to be worth, or what our awareness versus the competition is. I need to be able to tell the CEO and our shareholders how many additional cases of beer that I sold. In short, the Army can't tell us how many recruiters they really do get from this. Now, number four, we got sequestration facing us. On top of a $487 billion defense cut over the next 10 years, plus a troop reduction of over 100,000, already we may have additional cuts. And Secretary Panetta has said we need to work together to find better ways to spend the money and stretch our dollars. You know, I'm as pro-military as I get. I'm proud to say I believe the 1st District of Georgia has as much military as any district in the country. I have 4 major military installations, 2 guard facilities. We have every branch of the military. We have a bombing range in there. And the only thing that is a bigger population than my military are my NASCAR fans. And yet they're saying to me, we're pro-NASCAR, but we realize the situation in America today. For every dollar we spend, 40 cents is borrowed. We can spend this money a lot better than we are today. And again, look what we're spending per recruit according to the National Guard document, which they provided our office. At least they did provide us with an a document, which we did not get from the Pentagon, but it is still costing us over $700,000 per recruit from their own documentation. We can do better than this, and that's why Ms. McCollum and I have worked together, reached across aisles to say we can spend this money elsewhere more effectively. And I yield